All right. Welcome to your practice. Please find a comfortable seat on your mat, and we'll get started. I'm gonna head over to 1 minute as well. Touch more legs, more room. You find your seat. Take a moment to lift through your spine, settle in. Take this time to shift our awareness a little bit from our day to that inward attentiveness. Maybe you call it your self-care or your wellness, maintenance, however you want to think of it. But you take this time to be conscious of it, that it's different than our sort of just using the body to live our lives. We're now spending time to just be with the body, to heal, to rest. So that if we take on rigor, take on some athleticism into our postures, it is in the spirit of healing, is in the spirit of recuperation or strengthening. And that this overall sentiment becomes a way of mind, a way of mindfulness in the moment. Today I was teaching a class, and it reminded me of a teaching from my asana teacher, where he talked about two forces of nature. And the two forces of nature, they happen together, but they happen in tandem, they happen alternating. The first one is just the in-breath and the out-breath. The in-breath, you're pulling in. Let's just focus on that for a few moments. Just think of this in-breath as a pulling in. A pulling in of what? A pulling in of air. But it's the pulling in force. It happens every in-breath. You just mindfully, intentfully watch the in-breath. You'll notice what has to come about with it is the out-breath, the extending, the reaching, the expelling outward. So just watch the two together. Just draw in and extend out. Now take a moment just to get bright through your torso, finding the basic shape of the pose, and not just draw in with your breath, but draw in with your muscles. Like you're just sort of drawing your shoulder blades into your spine. You're sort of hugging in to your core. And then on the exhale, you relax. You stretch your shoulder blades apart. You release the air out. Just sort of think of it like this pulse. This pulse in and this pulse out. Pulse in and a pulse out. Good. We're going to move. You're going to pull the rib cage forward. And then as you push the air out, pull the spine back. Inhale, rib cage forward. Exhale, pull the spine back. Spine forward. Teacher Ron said so much about life is this pulse. Light and dark, highs and lows, hot and cold. Inhale forward. exhale back. 2 more like that. Letting the whole spine articulate. Take a seated cat-cow pose. Good. Add the arm. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, arms come down. Moving the spine. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, arms come down. 2 more. Finding that pace of linking them together. Let's take that left arm over to your right. Let's give ourselves a nice twist. Breathe here. Let's twist the other way. Back to center. Go ahead, just hang your head a moment. You can walk your hands out in front. You can put them on blocks. You can rock a little bit side to side. Let's come back up. If you're sitting on something, you can go ahead and remove it. Put your legs out in front. The knees bent. Walk your hands back a little bit. And try to pull your shoulders back. Bend your elbows so you're stretching across the chest zone here. Bring your legs together, just extend your toes out. And then drop them back down. When you tone your muscles, that's part of that drawing in energy. So you're toning your quads when you start to straighten your legs here. That's part of that drawing in. When you pull your belly muscles in, that's drawing in. Last round, legs up. Good. You can cross the ankles the other way or cross the shins the other way. Inhale, rise up. And soften down. Letting the shoulders hang. Head hang. When you're hanging this time, again, walk your hands over to one direction. Breathe here. Walk them over to the other. Breathe here. Let yourself back to neutral. We're going to sit back this time. It's going to keep your arms in the air. You're going to let your legs hover just a few inches off the ground. And press your low back into the mat. And then sink your spine into the mat. Good. Push your feet and elbows down into the floor. As you push your feet and elbows down into the floor, notice how it arches your spine a little bit. Your chest rises. Breathe into that opening of the chest. And squeeze the shoulder blades onto your back. That's that drawing in feeling. When you press your feet down, kind of pull your butt back towards your shoulders. So you're toning the muscles in the back of the body. And as you tone the back body muscles, stretch the front body up into the sky, bridge pose. Let's lower down. Let's keep that. Toning the back body. That's drawing in. And then press up with the hips, stretching the front body. Let's come back down. One more like that. Bridge pose. And relaxing back down. Good. Go ahead, grab your left knee, pull on it, and then grab the ankle with your opposite hand so it becomes like an upside down pigeon for a moment. And then release the leg. Grab the right knee, pull it in, and then hold the ankle with the left hand so it becomes like a pigeon pose upside down. Good. Pull it towards the belly. And then release. Let's go back. First side again. Left leg up. Left ankle in towards the belly. And release. Right leg up. Ankle in towards the belly. And release. Good. Place the bottoms of the feet together, let the knees drop open. Push down with your elbows so the chest and the ribs kind of lift off the mat some. Toning the back muscles. Try to push down with your elbows so much your shoulders come off the ground just a little bit. And when the shoulders come off the ground just a little bit, draw them away from your ears. Almost like you're, again, hugging them in to the spine and to the back. Then as you keep those shoulder blades hugging in, slide the back of your skull a little bit further away. That's the reaching out. That's the extending outward. So you draw the shoulder blades in and down, and then extend the crown away. Good. With this spaciousness now, turn your head on the mat and look one direction. And then look the other direction. Back to center. One more time, first direction. One more time, second side. Good. Reach your hands up into the sky. Broaden the shoulder blades, and as you broaden your shoulder blades, tone your belly muscles so it pulls your ribs down. That's the hugging in. Keep pulling the belly muscles in and roll your forehead up like you're trying to reach up for a rope. Good. Upper body is in a curl. Excellent. Breathe here. Bring the knees up. Lift the feet up. Breathe here. Drawing in at the core. Reaching out with the hands. Excellent. Rest your hands on your body. Rest a second. Reach the arms to the sky. And so much that you can actually feel it toning the core all in one. The toning of the core and the reaching of the arms work like a balance together. Extending out, but not before, drawing in. And then lift the forehead and crown up, curling the muscles of the core. You can float the legs in the air, keep reaching out as you tone in at your center. Good, lift the knees in, and then let's roll up to center. Good job. Warming up the back and the front body. Let's come to tabletop pose on our yoga mats. Take a moment, press down through your hands and grip the mat with your fingertips. This gripping is the toning, it's the muscular energy that hugs the muscles to the bones. Open the throat. Keep strong in your hands. Let's go ahead and extend your left leg back. With the left leg back, go ahead and lift your right arm up in a swoop and follow your hand up into the sky with your gaze. Good. Come all the way back down, tabletop. Regrip and tone the hands. Let's step our right foot back. And then follow the left hand up in a swoop with your gaze. And then all the way back. One more time. Left leg back. Follow the right hand forward and up. And then back. A muscular tone will help your movements feel smoother and more expansive. Right leg back, left hand reaches out because there's a tone of the muscle of the arm hugging to the bone. And back. Excellent. Shift your hips back towards your heels. Rest a moment.
And then shift your hips forward until they come to the floor. Inhale, peel up with your shoulders and chest. And then exhale, relax it down. Inhale, peel up with your shoulders and chest. And then exhale, relax it down. Inhale, up. Exhale, relax down. Take your arms out wider and prop them up on your fingertips. Propping up on your fingertips, grab the floor with your finger pads like you're trying to squeeze a grapefruit. That'll tone your arms. Then pull your elbows into your shoulder sockets. That'll tone your upper back. Keep that tone and use it, but now push the floor away. Extend energy out through your hands and broaden your shoulder blades as you push out through your palms and fingertips. Yeah, looks great. Feel the toning and the expanding as one. Exhale, lower down. Let's try that again. Tone the fingertips and pull the elbows into the shoulders. Then use that strength, that hugging in strength, like fuel, and broaden out from that center, out the shoulder blades and out through the finger pads to rise up. Looks good. Glance over one shoulder, glance over the other. Stay steady, stay expansive and strong. And then lower back down. Good work. Place your hands under your shoulders. Let's lift up and press back to downward facing dog pose. The tone in here, we're going to press our hands down and we're going to squeeze our arms towards each other. They're not going to move, but you're going to energetically create some movement by squeezing the arms towards each other like you're trying to wrinkle your mat between your hands. Feel that tone. And when you have that tone in your arms, now pull and extend your hips away from your shoulders, balancing like you're drawing energy from the fuel and the heat of your arms. Good. Come on down, kneeling pose. Walk your hands back. You can sit your hips up over your knees. Inhale, arms up. Let's just make some fluid circles here. We want to couple that longer holds, those toning movements with some fluidity. Inhale, up. Exhale, open. Inhale, up. Exhale, open. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, empty the air. Good. Slide the hands down onto the thighs. Send your tail back and send your chin up to the sky. Let's just breathe here. Tone the muscles onto your back as you open the front. Roll those outer arms out like you're pulling your elbows back. Broaden across your collarbones. Beautiful. Let's inhale, rise up, and go ahead and step your left foot out any amount, as wide as you want it. You can take the blocks or just your hands over to the right. Nice and wide stance. Just start to sink and press into that foot. Passive stretch in the hip. Come back, sit back a little bit, just sort of feel into that hip joint a little bit. Let's bend and straighten, just kind of go back and forth. Good. If you want, you're going to extend your back knee straight so your back leg is off the ground. And then lift up your left arm high into the sky. So the big open twisted lunge. Press your feet down and try to squeeze your legs in towards each other. And like you're toning your muscles. And now from that, push your back heel back. Push your front knee forward as you twist into the stretch more. Using the tone as a fuel source. Good, close it down, step it back. Awesome job. Take a deep breath here. Feel those shoulder blades on your back. And feel the crown rise up away from them. When you're ready, you'll step your right foot as wide as you want it. And walk your hands to the left. Just take a moment, be in the passive stretching. Just kind of moving in the joint, seeing where things are tight. This dance, you can think of the drawing in as separate. It happens first, and you can think of the extending out as separate. It happens second. But really, there's components of both happening all the time. It's just what your mind chooses to highlight. Go ahead, tuck your back toes and lift the back leg. Tone your legs, tone your muscles to the bone, and pull your feet energetically towards each other. Open up that top arm, that's your right arm. And keep that tone, but now push back out through the front knee, out through the back heel to open the twist even further. Right arm's in the sky. Good, close it back down. Come back to kneeling. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, place your hands on your thighs, and this time, hug your belly muscles back as you send your sit bones down. Head down. The drawing in is happening in the belly muscles. The broadening out is happening in the shoulder blades and the back ribs. Good. From here, let's push up into a standing forward fold. You've got blocks, put your hands on blocks out in front of you so you can rock back and forth a little bit, giving a little more weight to your hands and then giving a little more weight to your feet, trying to find the optimal place for the pose to take root, to take shape. Press into the four corners of your feet. Start to tone your kneecaps a little bit. Feel how this adds strength and depth to your pose. Press into the four corners of your feet and tone the kneecaps a little bit. Keep that inhale, stretch up to the sky. Whether you're at the front or back of your mat, let's bring our left foot forward, warrior one. Let's change our legs. Warrior one. Breathing in and out. Sometimes these details can just become too much, too intense. But remember, you're still practicing this expansion and contraction every time you breathe. So these alignment cues should enhance our poses, not take away from the yoga. Good, let's step to the front of our mats. You have a block, you're gonna find that block and put it between your knees. If you have a block, you're gonna find that block and put it between your hands. You squeeze the block between the knees and between the hands. And then start to bend, squeezing the core back, squeezing the thigh muscles. draw in our chair pose. Good. And now the organic extension, the reaching out, you're going to reach that block away, making the elbows straight, lengthening the back of your crown, lengthening through the elbow. And then also push energy from your pelvis down through your thigh bones, down through the four corners of your foot. Like a fuel source, you can stretch it out. Inhale, come up, and relax down. Good. If you get this toning of your muscles right, when you come out of the pose, it should feel like a breath of fresh air, like a release to your nervous system. Because your skeleton feels more aligned, all the muscles sort of hug in and reorient. Let's try it again. You're gonna hug in gently, pressing against the blocks, just squeezing inward, creating a muscular tone. It's not a tension, it's not tense, it's not stress, just a tone, a hug. Once you've got that core and that squeeze happening, you're gonna start to rise out of it with the arms and the crown, drawing it long. Sink deep, that's it. And push your core and pelvis down through your leg bones into the four corners of your feet. Nice work. Inhale, come back up. Relax the effort. Let's do one more just to get a really good grasp of this. Draw in and then extend out. Let's draw in. Press the block. Press both blocks. And bend into the pose. You're contracting. You're drawing energy towards the centers. Center of the bones. Center of your body. And then from that center, re-extend back out. Pressing down and reaching upwards. Breathe and maintain the awareness. Inhale up and let's relax. Good job. Let's try to just keep that mindful presence as we do a few posture flows. Keeping that hugging and extending in the background of our movement. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, look forward. Mindful awareness. Exhale, step your right leg back, warrior one. And then drop open, warrior two. Take a deep breath. Inhale, turn that front foot in so we're wide on our mat, arms to the sky. And then exhale, warrior two to the back of your mat. Close your stance, warrior one, facing the back of your mat. Good, and then swoop your hands down towards your back leg, that's your right leg, and draw them along the mat, all the way back to the front of your mat. And step the back leg back, plank pose. Downward dog pose. Go ahead, step your right foot forward. Inhale, come up, warrior one. Open the warrior one up, warrior two. And then turn your front foot to the side of your mat. You're facing the other direction now, arms in your sky. Inhale. Turn your left foot out, warrior two. Close it down, warrior one, facing the back of your mat. And then reach down near that left foot and walk your hands. Use your leg joints to turn. And then step to the front of your yoga mat. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to your heart. Inhale, left arm up, look at your palm, and bring your left palm over the right, and come all the way back. Inhale, bring up your right arm, look at your palm, bring it all the way over, and bring it back. Open both arms up to the sky, And twist your body so your right hand is in front of you. Left arm's behind you. Keep that. And you're going to listen carefully. With your right hand in front, you're going to step your right leg back. So it's a twisted standing lunge. Good. From here, reverse warrior. Turn your back foot down and then lift your left arm up into the sky. Reverse warrior. Windmill your arms to the front of your mat. Chair pose. Good. Inhale up to the sky. And send your left hand in front, right arm back. Good. Stay with me. With the left hand reaching forward, the left foot will step back. Mindfully toning in and drawing out. One big windmill motion, spin that back foot down, open up, reverse warrior. And then exhale, spiral the arms, steps to the front of your mat, chair pose. Good. Inhale, arms to the sky. Twist right hand in front. Step right foot back. Breathe. Inhale, windmill the arms. Reverse warrior. So the left hand's in the sky. And then step all the way to the front of your mat, chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Left arm in front, twisting the upper body. Left leg back, twisted lunge. Good job following the instructions. Big windmill motion, reverse warrior. Exhale, step it back. Chair pose. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Awesome job warming up. Good flowing. We found that flow rhythm again. Let's slow it down into some individual poses. You're going to take a big old step back with that right leg. You're going to bend the left knee over the heel. Press down into the mat and try to squeeze the mat with your muscles. So you're squeezing the mat like you're trying to wrinkle it. That tones your legs. Go ahead, prop your left elbow on your left thigh. Keep that drawing into the core of your pelvis. And now from the core of your pelvis, let's reach that top hand into side angle pose. As you reach it out, push your back foot down. Push your front knee forward. So you've drawn in like a fuel source to stretch out into side angle. Good. Place the right hand down. Place the right knee down on the ground. Wiggle the left foot over to the edge. You can use blocks or just use the floor. So your arms are inside the front leg. Create a tone. Squeeze the blocks. Press and squeeze your toes. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back. With the shoulder blades on the back. Now reach your crown forward. Press your sit bones back. And melt towards the floor. Good work. Step back, downward dog. Come forward, top of a push-up. and extend the right foot forward, second side. You start in a warrior legs, the right foot forward now. Press down through the feet and sort of hug in like you're trying to wrinkle the mat. Keep that feeling. Perch the elbow. Keep that toning of the legs, drawing up into the core of your pelvis. And now extend that energy out through the top arm and back through the back heel as one. You've got more energy, you still have drawn in more than you've extended out. You can push the front knee forward. It's a balance between the two. A person who has overextended, well, we know it, we got a phrase for it. The person has overextended in their life. It happens in an asana too. It's called trying too hard. A person who has drawn in too much, we call them withdrawn. They've shelled up. Good. Place that top hand down. Place the back knee down. And wiggle your front foot over to the edge. Take a moment, hug. Don't become withdrawn. Just draw in. Squeeze the finger pads. Squeeze the shoulders onto your back. You can even tone your belly muscles a little bit. Tone your toes. Grab the mat with your toes. Once you've drawn in some, then you reach back out. Melting. Pushing the hips back. Reaching the crown forward. Good. Step back. Downward dog. Inhale. Top of a push-up. What do you know about drawing in this pose? You can hug the legs towards each other. Don't move them. Just squeeze them in. You can squeeze the belly muscles. And you can also extend out. Really push out through your arms. Broaden those shoulder blades. Good. Come down to kneeling and open the knees out. Walking the hands out in front a little more. Let's stay active in our child's pose. How do we do that? You're going to keep your shoulders lifted. Keep the hands strong and just pull your hips back away from your strong shoulders. Stay up. That's the key. Stay spacious. Good. Come to the front of your mat. Lie on your bellies again. Go wide with your hands, but then also go forward with your hands, up on your fingertips. Same action like we did earlier, but now we know more about it. You're going to tone your leg muscles. Just tone your kneecap. Press, squeeze your finger pads. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Now, you've got that tone. Use your breath and reach out. Reach your toes back. Reach your shoulders out through your finger pads into your cobra. Exhale, lower down. Let's rest a few breaths. You can turn your head to one side. Turn our head the other side. Let's come back to center and push our way back to tabletop. Go ahead and bring your left knee forward and the left foot across for pigeon legs. Today, you're going to push your knees or you're going to push your shins down and pull them into your hip joints. Listen carefully. You're going to kind of push down with your knees or shins and then pull the front hip knee into the hip, pull the back knee into the hip, and see how it squares your hips. That's the tone. If you can, with or without blocks, clump onto your finger pads of your pigeon pose. Just the finger pads. Yeah, elongating yourself. Good. Keep that tone. Now, pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Excellent. Pulling your shoulders down away from your ears. Lengthen through the back of your neck, the back of your ears. Hug your belly muscles in. This looks great. Stay with it. Elbows straight if you can. Now, push your knees apart. Send your knees forward and back as you send your forehead to the floor. Keep breathing. Keep feeling that pulse of drawing in and extending out. Good. Inhale, come up. Let's go back through a tabletop or a down dog. Thanks, Kathy. Send your right knee forward and the foot across. Normally, I invite you to extend your legs further away, the knees further away, but first, today, we create a muscular tone. You push your shins or knees down, and you squeeze them in to square your hips and tone your hips. Push them down and draw them into the pelvis. Good. If you can, you come up on your fingertips. And you pull your shoulder blades down onto your spine. That's the muscular tone. Now we're going to start to stretch out up through the back of your crown, the back of your ears. Yeah, looks good. And now push the knees apart slow. As you push the knees apart, keep reaching and extending. Your core should be long and toned. And then bend the elbows and send your forehead towards the floor. Stay with the tone. Don't give up. Don't lose awareness when your forehead finds the ground. Good. Come up. Downward facing dog. Breathe a neutral breath. You can think about the muscle, the drawing in, the muscle energy and the organic energy if you want, or just be in a down dog and breathe. Let's come back up. Standing pose. If you have a strap, go find your strap. If you're going to use the wall to help you balance today, you can also stay by the wall. You're going to step the arch of your foot on the middle of your strap. Let's do the left foot and the left hand. So the right hand will be on the wall. Just standing still, let's tone. Tone the shoulder blades onto the back. Tone the kneecaps. Then with the kneecaps toned, the shoulder blades toned, start to reach your foot forward, but pull your elbow back. Good, go as high as you can, and if you start to feel cramping, that's where you stop. That's no problem. Now if you can let go for a second, you can re-grab the strap so your arm, strap arm is straight. Use the wall if you're using the wall. Tone the muscles. Almost think that you're pulling the leg bone into your hip joint. As you pull the leg bone into your hip joint, send energy out from the hip through the foot, and you'll go farther into the pose. Awesome. One more time. If you need to grab the strap further down, go ahead. Let's tone, pull the leg bone into the hip joint. And then once you've done that, reach back out, sending energy forward. Awesome. Let's come back down to our starting shape. Good work. Good work. Place the strap on the arch of your right foot. Strap in the right hand. You might use the wall with your left hand. You might have to re-grab the strap a couple times, but you know where the wall is. Before we even start the pose, tone the kneecaps. So what we mean by that is like you just sort of, you're creating a tonus in your leg, your quad muscles. So your legs get fired up a little. And squeeze the shoulder blades onto your back. Then passively, not too high, might only get a quarter of the way. You bend your elbow and reach out with your leg. Now, if you want, you can re-grab further down the strap. And we work the actions. Muscle energy. Draw the leg into the hip. And then push from the hip out through the foot. Do it one more time. Maybe grab down the strap more. Draw into the hip joint. And then extend energy away from it. Breathe and release. Whew. Awesome work. Awesome work. We're going to do one more round. We're going to come up. And after the second round, I'm going to say, now take the leg wide. Okay, so it's the exact same pose, except instead of just coming back down, we're going to go wide first. So flipping to the first side, left foot has the strap, left hand has the strap, right hand maybe has the wall. Tone, that means draw in. And then reach. Keep the elbow bent. Now grab the strap deeper if you can. Tone or draw in. And then reach forward with the feet, hip and foot. Here we go, last round. You're going to tone, you're going to draw in. And then you're going to open out. Keep the toes pointing straight up. Awesome. Breathe here. Drawing in and reaching out. Bend the knee and place the foot on the floor. Great work. Let's do the second side. Create that initial layer of tone. Remember, that is your fuel source. And then reach out a little bit of the way. Hold the strap down deeper, maybe. tone. Feel it draw into the hip joint and then reach back out. One more time, tone into the hip. And then this time, as you reach, open wide, reaching out from the hip through the foot. Breathe. Bend the knee, release the strap, and place the leg down. Good job. Good job. Let's turn our toes out about a little bit more than our heels. Let's just do a squat to counter pose for a moment here. Good, let's come back up. If you've got 2 blocks, you're going to place those 2 blocks at the front of your mat. Take your feet about a torso's distance away from those blocks. About 2.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. You're going to bow, put your hands on those blocks. You can bend your knees a little bit, that's cool. You're going to step with both knees a little bent. You're going to lift your right toe into the air. Now you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back. Look down today. So as you squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back, the back of your neck feels longer. And now your crown and your legs are going to reach away from each other to make a T shape. Your crown and your legs are going to reach away from each other to make a T shape. So we draw in, arms pull in, knees pull into your hips. And then as one unit, reach out. And some of us are going to take one hand to the heart or even both hands to the heart. Reaching out after you've drawn in. Good. Draw back in and come out of the pose. Nice work. You can stand up for a second, rest. Poses like this require a lot of mindfulness. You should feel a little bit of perspiration working these muscles in this way though. Even though we're moving slowly, we're actually, I think, sometimes getting a deeper strength application. Let's try that second side, same starting position. You're going to bend the knees and put the left toe in the sky. Now you're going to pull your shoulder blades onto your back so the arm bones go into the shoulder, making the back of your neck long. Pull your knees in towards your hip joints. And as one, you reach out with your crown and legs to make a T shape. Reach out with your crown and legs to make a T shape. And then maybe with one or both hands, you can leave the blocks. If you've extended out enough, you can remove your hands from the blocks for sure. Good. Bend the knees, come down, and come out of the pose. Awesome job. Let's do another squat as a counter shape. Come back up. One of my favorite go-to shoulder therapeutics
is a perfect example of our theme tonight. So we've been talking about shoulders, and it's a great compliment. So you're gonna find your block. You're gonna put the block out in front of your heart. You're gonna squeeze the block with your finger pads, but you're also gonna press in with the block so that inseam of the arms create a tone, a steady tone. You've drawn in that way, and then you're also gonna draw in by pulling the block closer to your heart. So you're pulling the arm bone into the shoulder joint. That's all drawing in energy. Once you've drawn in, you keep that, but you spread it. Belly muscles stay back, ribs stay back, and you reach out through your arms and the back of your crown toward the sky. Breathe. If you have smooth breath, it means that you've most likely balanced the drawing in and the extending out. Good, let's come back down. Let's do one more round of that. If you want, you could change the width by adding a second block. I wouldn't go smaller than the wide length of one block. So either one wide length or wider any amount. Tone the hands, the arms, and the arm bones into your shoulders. Tone the core and the base ribs. And now reach and extend the energy that you've cultivated. Back down. You can release the blocks. Take your left hand on top of your head and let the weight of the hand pull the head to the left. Open the right palm to face front and gently pull that palm back. Inhale up, second side. Turn the palm to face front. Don't pull on the head, just let the weight of it do the work. And then pull the left arm back some. Back to center. Awesome. Come down to kneeling. Knees together, feet apart. Take a seat between your heels. If you've got your strap nearby, go ahead and find it. And reach the left arm up into the sky. Then bend the elbow and hold the strap with the other hand behind your back. Walk the hands closer together and squeeze the strap tight with your hands. Now try to pull the strap apart with both hands. Don't over pull at the top hand. It's going to be easier with the top hand. Hey John, take that behind your back with that right arm. There you go, and that left elbow goes up into the air. Yeah, be real careful with that right shoulder on this one. You want that right shoulder, your right shoulder to win the race on this one. Breathe here.
And release. Put the strap in the right hand, reach it high into the sky. Bend the elbow so the hand's near your neck, back of your neck. Reach with your left hand behind the back to hold the strap. Maybe walk the hands a little closer if it's available. And then squeeze the strap tight. And then start to pull the strap apart. Notice how many details come to life in your shoulder joints when you tone and then extend. When you hug and then expand. Good. Release. Rest your hands in your lap. And return to the simple expansion and contraction of breathing. My teacher said it was the state of nature. It's the laws of nature to do these two forces. And you can see it in so many ways. You can see it in anything. See it in your breath. The Sanskrit word for this pulse is called spanda. Relax out of the pose. Remove the prop. And then take both knees to the right side of your mat and lay on your left thigh. So your left thigh is kind of parallel with the front edge of your mat. Walk your hands back so you're upright. And that may be enough. Or you might walk your hands over, away from your knees, like a clock hand, to create a little bit of a twist. Let's go the other way. You gotta come back, and you gotta bring your knees over the other edge. And then go ahead and lay on your right thigh. Walk your hands back so the arms are straight. Just gotta put your knees, John, bring your hands forward. Well, you can get there that way, actually. Okay, John, bring both knees over to the left edge of your mat. There you go, that'll work. You just walk your hands over towards the fireplace. And then you'll walk your hands to the left. No, you're right, sorry. My left, you're right. Good, sit back and swing your legs around to the front. Lie on your back. Press your feet into the floor. Press your arms into the floor. When you do this, pull your shoulders away from your head. Keep your shoulders away from your head.
Keep squeezing your shoulder blades in and pressing down with the arms to create tone. Now push out with your feet, reach back with your crown into bridge. Roll your spine to the mat. Pause, let your neck and your low back be spacious. Rest there. One more time, we're going to do bridge. We're going to tone in, we're going to extend out, but think about keeping your neck and your low back long and spacious. Tone the shoulders, tone the arms. Try to pull your feet towards your butt. Once you've toned, press away and down and out. So the hips go up and the neck gets long out through your crown. Breathe. Bring the spine to the mat. Keep the neck and low back spacious. Rest in it. Place your hands on your knees and bring the thighs towards the chest. Keep breathing. Place your feet flat on the floor and walk your feet apart, but then let the knees fall back together. Make the back of your neck long. And now slide your hands, slide the knuckles along the floor, keeping your shoulders down over your head. Place your hands on your belly. Start to slide your legs out long on your mat. Feel the pulse of nature. Spanda. You can open your legs any wider, that feels good. You can open your arms out, that suits you.
Give yourself one more hug and then one more expansion before they dissolve back into just being one thing. Let your body rest. Stretch your limbs. It's natural to do that because resting is a drawing in. It's like the way a cat does it.
They rest, they go deep inside, and they stretch back out into their body. It's part of the pulse. Come up to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Thanks for practicing. Namaste.